You are listening to a special edition of the Blackford Bruins Report on the Central Indiana Sports Report. It's a recap of Thursday's 70-36 win over Burris, but we treated it more like a Blackford Bruins Report. Talking more about the season, the senior class, Mari Leggett's dominance, the transfer of Eli Petro, and of course the upcoming sectional. Then I spoke with senior Mason Kitterman and Mari Leggett about the season and Tuesday's clash with Alexandria. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and before we get to all of that, I want to tell you about my new daily podcast. Greg and his friends talk sports. Every day, 10 to 20 minutes, my friends and I are talking about what Central Indiana sports fans are talking about, and it's a lot of fun. Please join us. Could really use your support. It was a successful senior night Thursday in Hartford City, with the Blackford Bruins closing out the regular season with a 70-36 win over visiting Burris. Mari Leggett finished with 29 points off of the Blackford bench, with all the seniors starting on senior night, to lead the charge in the Bruins' 17th win of the year. Leggett's now averaging north of 27 points per game as a sophomore heading into the postseason, and is 22 points from 1,000 points for his career. Again, only a sophomore. Jay County transfer Eli Petro scored his first points as a Bruin, then kept scoring, finishing with 14 points, including a couple of threes and a big dunk. Looks like he's fitting right in. Also, Mason Kitterman finished with 12 points. Reggie Dern and Mason McFeely 5 points apiece, and Jacob Dillon with 4, all in their final home games as Bruins. Blackford jumped out to a 10-2 lead behind 5 early Kitterman points, but Burris scored 8 straight to tie it. The Bruins then responded with the first 4 points of the second quarter, a Dillon putback and a Petro dunk, to lead 16-12. At the end of the first, then scored the first 5 points of the second. After 4 Burris points, Blackford took complete control by scoring 15 of the next 17 points to take a 36-18 lead into the half. And if it wasn't over by halftime, it was over early in the third when McFeely kickstarted a 21-4 run with 5 straight points to begin the fourth quarter. Leggett scored the final 6 points of the third quarter, and Blackford led 65-31 through 3. That was it for the regular season for Blackford. Again, 17-6 was the record. And Tuesday, the big game with rival Alexandria to open up the sectional at Eastbrook in what was probably the toughest draw that Blackford could have had. The second round will be against the host Eastbrook Panthers if Blackford's able to get by Alexandria, which has won 7 in a row after Thursday night's 70-63 win at Taylor. Big win for the Tigers. They're playing awfully well. Defending champion Wapahani's in the other half of the draw and will face the winner of Burris or Madison Grant, who play each other in the second quarterfinal on Tuesday night at Eastbrook. Please stay tuned for Blackford head coach Aaron Daniels, then senior Mason Kitterman, and sophomore Mari Leggett. Thanks for listening. We will have a sectional preview for you on Monday, Tuesday morning at the latest. All right, Coach, senior night, what can you say about your senior class?
Well, this is my second year with them. For them to buy in to what we're trying to do here and try to build a program and things, especially when we're only going to be here, they're only going to be here 2 years, half their career's over, all these things. I could not be more proud of a group of 5 kids. I think we talked a couple weeks ago. I told you, everybody was asking, you've lost 4 out of 6, all of these things, the wheels coming off the bus, and tell everybody they weren't because of the seniors that we have. And those kids, they know, and this is a perfect example. First half, Mason Kitterman had about 4 assists and had about 7 rebounds. He was doing everything right, but he wasn't scoring a ton. And I told him, I said, hey, the points are going to come. You just keep doing what you're doing. And he looked right at me and said, Coach, I don't care. I just want to win. And that when you get to that mindset where you just want to win and you care about that more than you care about yourself, that's when you know you have a great team. And that's because we have 5 seniors. You have 5 kids that show up every single day, that buy into what they're doing, that buy into what we're doing, that just continue to lead with their voice and then also through their actions. I've never been around a group of kids that I've been more proud of than those 5 kids right there right now.
The Mari, 29 points tonight, now 22 away from 1,000 as a sophomore. And I don't think many schools have multiple 2,000-point scorers, and he might be headed that direction, Coach.
It's crazy to think, as special as he is, that he may leave school here and not be the school's leading scorer of all time. And that's,
most likely won't.
Yeah, he probably won't. And, early on, I last year and things, I wasn't really sure what we were going to get out of Mari as far as points. Is he going to be a guy that averages 20 assists a game? Is he going to be a guy that averages 40 points a game? And we've come to find out that it's going to be dictated by what people do to us. When you got a guy with the ball in his hands, tonight was a night where he had to pass a little bit more. They ran 3 at him. Northwestern was a game where he had to pass a little bit more. And then Snyder's a game where, offensively we kind of struggled except for him. So he's just so good at what he does. And for our seniors to share the ball the way they do, when you have a kid that's top 3 in the state in scoring, that means all the world, because Mason Kitterman, could have been probably 1,000-point scorer if Mari isn't here. For the last 2 years, Mari averaged 14 a game last year and is averaging 27, 28 a game
and
this
Gage
year.
too.
And Gage. I mean,
we've wasn't going to score many points with
and
Gage
so,
and Mari.
Depending on the team, Mason Kitterman's 1,000-point scorer is a lot of 4-year cycles. But it's just a kid that wants to win. And to me, when I got the job 2 years ago, that was my whole thing with them. I want to win. I want to win with you guys. They've embraced that, and he is a big reason for that. So I just love where we're at as a program right now, heading into sectional with the we over me attitude.
And we're using this reaction to the Burris game as kind of a bonus Blackford Bruins report here, because next week we're not going to have one, because we're going to have a sectional preview, and Coach Daniels is going to join us for that. So please join us on Monday evening. I believe it could be Tuesday morning before we're completely done, but please check that out. And Coach, I think I need to address this because I've been hearing it. And I just want to say first that I moved from my junior year to my senior year from one school to another. To this day, it was the right move for me. I will never question a kid who moves, no matter what time it is, no matter what the situation. But a lot of people are saying, what's the deal with that at Blackford? So, Coach, what's the deal with that at Blackford?
Well, Eli Petro comes in. He's a kid that I won't get into much of his situation at Jay County and things. But here's what I will tell you. Since he's been here, the effort and energy that he's brought on our bench. And if you were at this game tonight and you saw him hit the 3 and get fouled, and you saw him get the dunk and those things, if you saw the way our other kids reacted, you would know he's in the right. There's always going to be people frustrated when you have a player like Mari, that people, I feel like people try to poach him all the time with the things they say and things. I'm not a big fan for the transfer rule, but when it's for the betterment of a kid, I'm all for it. I think that's, something that, it's hard to explain, and you don't know every kid's situation, and you don't know where they're at. And so, he kind of showed up here, and our kids have embraced him. And I think, with the team that we had, when he showed up here, we hadn't lost the game yet. And so a lot of people would say, man, that could really derail your system and your season. And it could have. But when he came in and his effort and the way our kids embraced him, and then you see tonight the production that he, gives us off the bench and different things, we're just glad to have him, at this point of the season. And really, I tell everybody, he really didn't take minutes from anybody. He just gave kids breathers. We were going 6 deep and really struggling. And so we're glad to have him. We're glad that he's here, and we're excited for him down the stretch here of this sectional.
Quick word about Alexandria and a sectional that, here's the way I've been saying it. You probably don't think every team in the sectional can win it, but I'm pretty sure you think every team in the sectional can get to the championship. And if you get to the championship, who knows? So kind of a wide open sectional, but starting with Alexandria is a tough one.
And I'll tell you, there's good coaches in this section. There's teams that, you've got a Wapahani team that's been there multiple times in a row. They've got seniors that all they know how to do is win. You've got Alexandria, who's had the ebbs and flows of their season. They come into the tournament playing better than probably anybody in the tournament. And so, it is going to take somebody 2 really good games, at least, if not 3, to win this thing. And so, you go into an Eastbrook, somebody's going to play them, us or Alex, on Friday night on their home floor. They're going to be motivated. There is a lot of things riding on this. And to start off with Alex, I'm not mad about, because it makes you ultra focused, because we know what Alex can bring, and we have a lot of respect for that program and for what they do. And it's not going to be a night where you can overlook somebody. And I'm glad that, because when you go into sectional, you want to play for a sectional title, and yes, the bye at times you think, oh, that would be nice, but you come out swinging Tuesday night, you got the heavy hitter in Alexandria, night one, first game, 6:00. Strap it on and let's go. I mean, it's time to roll.
Gonna have to play well 3 times.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Coach. More of that on Monday.
Looking forward to it.
Please stay tuned for Blackford senior Mason Kitterman and sophomore Mari Leggett.
I'm here with senior Mason Kitterman and sophomore Mari Leggett after the win tonight over Muncie Burris to finish the regular season with 17 wins. And we'll start with Mason tonight. What was the mission? What did you want to accomplish in your final home game as a senior?
Yep. So obviously, that was a big thing. We knew it was our last game here as seniors, and we just wanted to leave a lasting moment and leave something in everybody's mind that we played here and we're going to go on and win bigger things.
Had a look. Second half of the season, if you look at it, just record-wise, been a little rough, but do you feel like it's made you guys better for this run?
I really do. And I mean, we played some of the best teams in the state. And yes, we dropped a few games we should have won by double digits. But I think in the end, it proves to make us a better team that people now we're the underdog. And I mean, we've been the underdog my whole entire career. So it's something we're used to, and we can't wait to prove everybody wrong.
I want to ask you a little bit about him. As a senior, first 2 years, he wasn't around, and you guys have played each other the last couple of years. What's it been like having a guy who can take a lot of the offensive attention and play with a guy like that?
I mean, it's awesome for me. Any decent offensive player should be salivating at the mouth to have a kid like him because, everyone gives their attention to him. So I can get easy, wide open buckets, and it's effortless for me. And you look at my stats, and I would attribute almost over half of his points or half of my points to his doing because everyone's guarding him. So, I mean, I'm just really happy I get to be able to be in that position.
I'm going to ask you the same thing about him. What's Mason bring to this team?
First and foremost, he brings leadership. If you're pounding practice, not going hard, he's going to get on you, rip you. During the game, too, he's making sure we're locked in. Before pregame walkthroughs, making sure we're locked in. So it's really leadership. And then, obviously, like Coach says, at so many other schools, he'd be the number one player, and I really believe him that me and him were the best 2 players in the court at all times. So I'm just really confident in his abilities, and I like our chances with anybody.
And then Jacob, too, shooting 70% for the season. Nice to know that a guy, if he has a shot, he's probably going to make it.
Yeah, Dylan, man, he does all the dirty work, knowing what to do. It doesn't show up on the box score, but I tell him every day, you do so much more for the team than anybody knows. It just doesn't show up. But I'm just super happy we have a guy like that. He doesn't complain. He just comes and does his work every day.
All right, and Alexandria on Tuesday. You beat him earlier in the year. Your thoughts on the second matchup with the Tigers?
Last time we played them, we had a lot of turnovers. So we're just looking to take care of the ball. Last time we played them, I think I had maybe 6 turnovers. So I'm just looking to get those down, and as a team, get our turnovers down.
And last thing, just tell me about this senior class and what it's meant to Blackford basketball.
Oh, man, miss so much. Just from the beginning, playing with them since I was in 4th grade, playing up with them, it's kind of really emotional with them leaving me. So I'm trying to cherish every day, take it one day at a time, learn from them so I can be a leader whenever I get older.
Sectional champions on your way out?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks so much to Coach Daniels and Mason and Mari for joining me. Thank you so much for listening. Please do us a huge favor and share this podcast with a Blackford Bruins fan in your life. Help us spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is talking about what Central Indiana sports fans are talking about every single day. Also, go check out my daily podcast, Greg and His Friends Talk Sports. This podcast is over, so you can go do that right now. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, an and I love Susie.